Hello and welcome to a LEGO MOC. I won't call it quite a Star Wars MOC here because things are a bit mixed up today. You may have briefly seen this in my room tour video that I did recently. This is a little MOC combining a couple of rather big sets here, which I am calling the Battle of Scarifuda Bay. Now, if you know anything about Star Wars, or indeed this ship over on the right just here, which I did do a review on, which is the LEGO Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay, otherwise known as the Black Seas Barracuda remake, then you'll already guess where the name for this little mock-up comes from. On one hand, we've got the Battle of Scarif, and then on the other hand, we've got Barracuda Bay. Now, I decided to combine these two. Quite a while ago, I did a review on this ship, and I said afterwards that I was going to be keeping it in ship form rather than with the island, which it can also be put into. And that left me with a lot of pieces that make up the island that I didn't really know what to do with. And then I had an idea. If you don't know, the Battle of Scarif is the battle at the end of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Scarif itself is a sort of tropical planet, which perfectly matches the island that I've got right here, and I thought, why not combine some Star Wars and some Pirates elements into one big display, and that's what you've got before you. So there are several distinct elements of this MOC, and I'll just give you a bit of a closer view. Over here on the left to begin with, we have got my AT-80. This is the Playscale set that came out last year, I believe, not the new UCS version, which, although I would love, I don't have the money, time, or space for. So this one is definitely still a really good set and looks really nice on display. So we've got the AT-80. Technically speaking, I think the large walkers at the Battle of Scarif were AT-ACTs, which is a bigger variant with the orange middle bit and the head slightly different. And I may go in and change this up, but you know what? If there were AT-ACTs, I'm sure there were AT-ATs somewhere. So I'm happy to have this on display here. It actually makes a really nice difference to display this in this kind of tropical setting. I've actually created two distinct bits of display, water and sand. We've got one here with a small island there, and then a larger one just here. So yeah, it's nice to display this somewhere that isn't Hoth, although obviously that looks really cool, and that's where we know the Imperial walkers from first of all. I think it's nice to see them in a little bit of a different terrain. This is pretty much the stock set. Obviously I've removed Luke hanging from underneath it, and I've added a few plates and tiles and things, slight upgrade to the sort of visor, that's the wrong word, but you know, the sort of windscreen at the front, which is a little bit thin in the official version. I'll just bolt that up with some trans red tiles, and I think it looks much better. Of course, the parrot did not come in the original set. And then over on the right, we of course have the LEGO Ideas set, the Barracuda, or Black Seas Barracuda remake, which is a fantastic set. This is, again, pretty much as it comes. There have been a few amendments, which I think I went over in my original review videos, just a few changes to the bow, and I've actually shortened the masts ever so slightly because there really wasn't much space, and this is a very tall set. The other main thing I've done is to take the sails off. Although they're very nice cloth pieces, I think they did distract from the ship, and actually you can see a lot more of the mast detail. And you know, especially if this is a ship that's docked here in Scarifuda Bay, it probably wouldn't have its sails up. So we can assume they're either furled up and you just can't see them, or they're stored away. And then in the middle, we have got the island. You'll notice in front, I've got the Imperial Marauder, which I reviewed recently. I just thought this was, you know, made sense on this display. You can pretend it's hovering over water. And then we've got the island itself. So while I used the pieces from the Pirates of Barracuda Bay set, I've actually combined them in a slightly different way. This was just because I didn't have all the pieces left. I've used them for other MOCs and things, and I wanted to create something a little bit unique. So it's just using a lot of those large curved tan pieces, along with a bunch of other tan plates, all on top of those blue coloured plates and wedge plates. And then on top of that, I've just used the stormtroopers I had. These are all the new style of stormtroopers, with the exception of this slightly deceased stormtrooper, which is just one of the skeletons from this set, but with an old stormtrooper helmet on. Yeah, just those new stormtroopers, and there's the mortar trooper at the back, and then actually a single death trooper that I have. I don't own any shore troopers, unfortunately. I might try and get some in due course, but for the moment I'm pretty happy with them over there. I've also given them the E-web from the AT-80 set, And then opposing them, we've just got a couple of rebel troops. These are just from, I think, a battle pack set. In fact, that guy has actually fallen over, so let's put him back on. From a battle pack set, and then that helmet, I think, is actually from an advent calendar, but it's the helmet more based on the Endor one. But you know what? Rebels, it's a bit of a ragtag group, so I'm more than happy to have that design. And then I just mocked up a little kind of, I don't know what it is, control station, shield generator, just using various pieces and a couple of Star Wars Easter eggs, one of those old style control panels, and also a dome which is printed with a Buzz Droid pattern. Those are from the original sets back in 2005, Revenge of the Sith. Of course, there's a shark there, just not sure what side he's on. Let's hope he's on the rebels and isn't coming up behind them to eat them. And also, I just thought it was sensible to pop the pig that comes with the Barracuda just on that island. Don't know what he's thinking about the situation. So that's my Battle of Scarifuda Bay display. I may at some point add in some sort of laser blasts coming from the ship. I thought that'd be quite funny, coming out of the cannons. Again, not sure whose side the pirates would really be on. But I will make a decision on that. However, this display isn't finished. While I've used up a decent amount of space, obviously with the height, there is a huge gap just here which is completely unfilled, and I need to put something in there. And I thought this was the perfect opportunity to take a set that I've already got and do some modifications to it to make it more suitable for this scene. And this is the ship in question. This is set 75301, Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter, or rather it was that set. I did a review on this set, which I will link, and I've thought about it for a while, actually taking this set and making it into another X-Wing. We do get an awful lot of Luke's X-Wings, so I thought it'd be nice to show some love to somebody else. So this is Blue 1, I think is the correct term for it, or Blue Leader, piloted by General Antok Merrick. I hope you can see the details coming up there. He came out in a Star Wars advent calendar, and I was able to get him separately. Wonderfully detailed helmet just here, obviously the normal variation with some great prints for the torso and the face. He fits nicely in there. I've just made a few colour swap modifications to this overall, obviously swapped out the dark red for just a regular blue, including these bricks down the side. These tiles were originally in white, but again I've put them in blue for a bit more detail, same with these slopes at the front. And then on the wings, where they were originally, I think they're 4x4 tiles with the one row of studs down the edge. They were originally those with stickers on. I've actually gone in and brick built the design. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, just using some tiles and some modified tiles. And as you can see, I've tried to copy the design as best as I can. The other main modification I've made to this set is the engines. I've actually gone in and used a design I found online to create the correct shaping for the 3 inlets there, or the 3 veins in the inlet, and then the round bit in the middle, which is actually a flick-fire missile, which is also what holds the engine on. It does mean that they can rotate, unfortunately, so it's fairly easy to spin them around, but I think the overall effect is great, and especially since I'm going to be having this on display rather than play, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. I've also swapped R2-D2 out for a different astromech that isn't accurate to Merrick's astromech, which I think has a red body, but unfortunately the only LEGO astromech with a red body is very expensive, and I figured why not just go for a slightly different one. So that's the X-Wing. Now it's time to actually put it in the place that I want it, and here is going to be a little bit of an experiment for me. I have never actually tried doing this before, and that is suspending one of my creations with some fishing line. It's just some very thin wire. You can just about see it there. I have tested this, and it does seem to be strong enough to hold the model up. I'm going to try and fix it in 3 different points, which will hopefully stop the model from swinging around too much, and I'm going to be hanging it from the underneath of the shelf at the top of this little bit of display. So I'm going to go and do some experiments with that and hopefully find a way to put this all together and then show you the end result. So wish me luck. And here is the end result. I think that looks pretty good. I'm actually really happy with that. It took a little bit of experimentation. I've been going at it for a while there. If I get the camera in just the right position, you can't actually see the wires. You can just see the one just there. So the way this is suspended, there's 2 different wires. There's one going from the back left there all the way to the front right, and that actually goes straight through the middle of the fuselage, and it's actually just clamped in by the way that the structure is. You've got the rear, the wing section, and then the front is just clamped between them. And then in order to keep things horizontal, there is another one which you can see just here, which goes to this post and just goes down and is just tied around the nose cone. Might just cut off the little excess there. But overall, that's actually pretty good. It does wobble a little bit if you shake the fence. In fact, shake the shelves. In fact, it's just pinged off. It's not actually broken. It's just the wires are hooked around various bits of the X-Wing, and that's obviously just shaking it loose, but I will correct that in a minute. But even so, you know, even with the little bit of movement that there was just there, it's actually just stayed. If I just stabilize it. Yeah, so actually that's quite a cool dynamic pose as well. So yeah, there's a bit of variation it can be in, and I will hopefully get that fixed so it stays a little bit more sturdily. But for the moment, I'm pretty happy. I'm probably going to have to redo it at some point in the future. It's literally, the fishing line is literally just tied around the tops of these. So I have no idea how long those knots are going to last. But for the moment, it's looking pretty good. If I just come back a little bit, try not to show you the mess that's all around it. Yeah, I think that looks really good, and it looks cool over the display, having the Blue Squadron X-Wing as part of my Battle of Scarifuda Bay. As I mentioned, I might go ahead and try and get a shore trooper in the future, maybe add some more troops and some lasers coming out of the ship, but for now I am pretty happy with this build overall, and it's really nice to have this as a completed display, and also having my X-Wing up there saves a little bit of space on my Star Wars shelf just down there, which is great, and allows me more space up there where I was keeping it. I won't show you just there because there's a build that I'm keeping for the future, not quite done yet, but allows me that space for the future of Hogwarts, which I am still working on, and I'm slowly progressing towards getting those bell towers fixed. It's just going to cost quite a lot to get those final few pieces. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed, then please leave a like down below. Leave a comment, I'll do my best to get back to you. Subscribe to the channel for more, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I make a new video. Till next time, have a good one. Bye.